Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Dick here once again. Right, and thanks to a kindly, giving me 100 Wii points from an awesome viewer, I am now able to play through Case 5 for y'all. Um, the dude who gave me these 100 Wii points, he didn't want me to give his YouTube channel out, but his name's Will, so thank you very much, Will. You are awesome. Okay, now, I think I already went over this in my, at the last part of Case 4, but I'll just say again, for those of you that know, Phoenix Wright was originally a Game Boy Advance game and it only had 4 cases, but then they decided to bring it out for the DS and they added this case. And they thought to themselves, how about we put it on the Wii, but charge people extra for the 5th case? That's brilliant! So yeah. Also, the save file to download Case 5 was 1 block, so yeah, when you download Phoenix Wright off the Wii Shop, you are in possession of Case 5. You just don't get to access it unless you pay more money. This is of course normal for Capcom. And to be absolutely fair, the production is upped for this one, you know. How does he manage to pay the rent, actually, if he's not been working for 2 months? I'm guessing Edgeworth just paid him really well. No, I swear it's not Maya in disguise. This is an entirely new character. You know, one thing I gotta say about... Okay, we don't even know her name yet. I'll let the introduction go a bit more. Nah, I promise it's not Maya in disguise. I really don't. I really do, rather. Phoenix just can't turn down offers from young girls, that's it. So yeah, this is Emma, and apparently she was created specifically for, you know, this game, but, you know, she's not referenced anywhere else in the original Phoenix Wright trilogy, because obviously that trilogy was already out on the Game Boy Advance before this game. But she does play quite sizable roles in the Ace Attorney games that came after. In fact, for those of you that don't know, do you know Miles Edgeworth? That's the 5th Ace Attorney game, it's for the DS. That was originally supposed to star Emma right here. But after a lot of fan feedback, they decided to change it to Miles Edgeworth, which I'm really glad they did. Not that I don't like Emma or nothing, but I don't think she really deserves her own game, that's all. So yeah, we're just learning a bunch of exposition and who's doing what and whatnot. And this is kind of Emma's gimmick, you know, she's a forensic scientist and shit. they already do that? Alright. I really should go for all this text, you know, just to let y'all, he's all who want to read it. The music's fading out and there's friggin' ... something's up! Oh dear. Why does everybody die in a car accident? Hold on. I don't know, you can actually tell, oh, your parents, nah, they don't matter in the story at all. Oh, how come? Car accident, oh, okay. I mean, it would make sense if they died in an explosion or something, or they were murdered by someone, but usually when it's a car accident, you know the parents don't really matter. So yeah. Anyway, let's go over to the detention center and talk to our new client. She sounds familiar. If you look really closely, you can see one lone pixel on her neckline to indicate that, you know, she's got a little bit in common with Mia, you know? I can see that pixel, you can't hide it, Capcom. Actually, maybe it was covered up for the outside Japan. Nah, I doubt that, but wouldn't that just be hilarious? I can't take my eyes off that one pixel now! He's taking on another prosecutor. Now, to be honest, I'm just gonna insert a wee rant here. You know, watch out. One thing that kind of bothers me about Lana is she seems like, this is gonna sound really odd, but the way she looks and the way she acts, she just seems like she seems too real for Phoenix Wright. You know, a lot of other characters in this, a lot of other characters in the series are kind of cartoony, especially when you consider one other character we're about to see later. And I kind of prefer it that way, but I don't know, whenever I see Lana, it just strikes me it's like she doesn't really belong in this game. I don't know, it's just a weird observation on my part. Blah. Let's continue reading this game. I think what they were trying to do for this final case here is a case that was like beyond hopeless. I mean, most of Phoenix Wright's other cases are very hopeless, you know, but this one is easily his most hopeless, if you know what I mean. And I know you guys should be reading this because this shit's important, but I'm gonna keep going on about my vast knowledge a bit more. I think I said before, the very first game, you know, this one for Phoenix Wright, is the only game that has trials that span 3 days, you know. In literally every other Phoenix Wright game, you won't get a trial that's longer than 2 days, but for some reason when they went back to make this game, they decided to make it 3 days again. I don't get that. Why did they never go back to making a trial that lasted 3 days? It's weird. Indeed. You know, she was actually in the second case of this game when Wright was on the phone to the chief prosecutor. Again, because this particular case was made a few years afterwards, the developers didn't have that in mind. I bet you were supposed to take that chief prosecutor as a man or something. You know, they didn't specify, granted, but still. I like pointing shit like this out, okay? Leave me alone. That's what happens when you play a game like with such story based like 8 times. Oh. Ew. How many times are you gonna go, excuse me? That's another pretty admirable thing about Phoenix Wright, you know? He doesn't care. He'll take your case.